One of the most treasured subjects for evolutionists is irreducible complexity in living beings, remembering that Darwinism explains the origin of life with two unconscious natural mechanisms, natural selection and random changes, in other words, mutations. According to Darwinist theory, these two mechanisms lead to the emergence of the complex structure of living cells, as well as the anatomical systems of complex living things, such as eyes, ears, wings, lungs, and millions of other complex system designs. However, how is it that these systems, which has incredibly complicated structures, can be considered the products of two unconscious natural effects? At this point, the concept Darwinism applies that of reducibility. It is claimed that these systems can be reduced to very basic states, and that they may have then developed by stages. In other words, a species which originally had no eyes will come to have perfect ones, and another species which was formerly unable to fly will grow wings and be able to do so. Well, I would like to give a basic example that maybe we can understand easily how irreducible complexity demolished the evolutionary theory. One example of this is our eyes. The human eye sees by the working together of some 40 separate parts. If one of these is not present, the eye will be useless. Each of these 40 parts has complicated designs within itself. Let's put all the 39 parts aside, just examine one of them, for example the lens. We do not usually realize it, but the thing that enables us to see things clearly is the constant automatic focusing of the lens. If you wish, you can carry out a small experiment on the subject. Hold your index finger up in the air, then look at the tip of the finger, then at the wall behind it. Every time you look from your finger to the wall, you will feel an adjustment. This adjustment is made by small muscles around the lens. Every time we look at something, these muscles go into action and enable us to see what we're looking at clearly by changing the thickness of the lens and turning it at the right angle to light. Photographers make the same adjustments in their cameras by hand, and sometimes have to struggle for quite some time to get the right focus. Within the last 10 to 15 years, modern technology has produced cameras which focus automatically, but no camera can focus as quickly and as well as the eye. For an eye to be able to see, the 40 or so basic components which make it up need to be present at the same time and work together perfectly. The lens is only one of these. Therefore, it is senseless to propose that all of these things came about by chance at the same time and in the same living thing. The theory of evolution is unable to account for the emergence of even such a flawless and complex structure as a single eye by means of accident, let alone life itself or mankind. The human eye does not function unless it exists with all its components intact. Therefore, the wheel that brings all these parts together should be able to foresee to feature and aim directly at the advantage that is to be acquired at the final stage. As a result, this truth which demolishes the foundations of the theory of evolution. Also, Darwin wrote that if it could be demonstrated that any complex organ existed, which could not possibly have been formed by numerous, successive, slight modifications, my theory will be absolutely break down. And also he confessed this fact when he says, thinking about the eye may be called all over. This fact, known as irreducible complexity, definitively destroys Darwinism, just as Darwin himself feared.